What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news concerning the ongoing negotiations with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn has made comments about that. So let's talk about the comments that he did make. First off, he did say that they're not going to wait around for Deontay. You know, they have to have a date locked in for the October 13th event, or they're going to find someone else. Now, also, Anthony Joshua has a poll, on social media, and, the poll is simple. Who does the public want him to fight? Okay, next. And, of course, Deontay Wilder is winning the poll, naturally, okay? Now, he did say in an interview that he wouldn't need a poll anyway, but I guess he did it nonetheless. And it doesn't matter because Deontay Wilder was the guy on the radar anyway. That's the fight everyone wants to see. It's not really about Tyson Fury and Wilder, okay? He got his mandatory out of the way, so that's not a factor anymore. Now it's all about getting the fight made. Now it's really up to Deontay Wilder. A lot of times, people are saying, oh, well, why don't Eddie Hearn give him more time? He should give him more time. But the thing is, it's like the time wasted on trying to get this fight together has been slim chances to none. Let's look at the facts. Let's look at what we do know. We do know that Deontay Wilder assumes that he's going to be the A side after he beats Tyson Fury. And then a lot of people are signing on to that idea. You look at it like his fight with Fury, Frank Warren, he's also signed onto that narrative, okay? He's saying that whoever wins this fight is the real champion. So they're trying to market that. Basically, this is what it comes down to. It comes down to someone trying to take a person's position. So this is business, okay? This is not even about who he thinks will win. It doesn't even have anything to do with it. It's who is the most popular heavyweight. Deontay has started this year, and this year alone, started to take risk, which has benefited him, and increased by $2.5 million because he was offered 12.5 slave wages, he says, then 15, then another 5 for fighting another guy with an attachment onto Joshua. And all these negotiations have fell through. Well, let's look at that. If he thinks that he's going to be the A side of the equation, first of all, that won't work. This fight won't happen because someone has to be the A side, someone has to be the B side. Someone, again, has to agree, okay? The only reason Eddie Hearn done this, I know exactly why he did it. He did it simply because of money. He knows if Deontay Wilder doesn't take that fight before that fight, Deontay is going to ask for more money. People listen to what people say. And I know he's heard Deontay say, I'll be the A side, so he's coming to call shots when he knocks out Fury. But here's the question. Here's a question you ask yourself about this whole matter. Do you think Deontay Wilder knocking out Fury, do you think Deontay will get full credit for doing so? Do you think he'll get credit for knocking out Tyson Fury if he goes in there and blows out Tyson Fury? That's the question you ask yourself. This is not one of those channels where I speak, you guys listen, you obey, or get the hell off of my channel. That's not this type of channel. You know what I mean? I don't care how many subscribers I get or anything of that nature. Everyone has an opinion, so that's the thing you ask yourself. Do you think Deontay Wilder will get credit for that? And in my honest opinion, I don't think he will. That's just like nobody will give Earl Spence credit for blowing out Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Nobody will really give him credit for that. The only credit will get passed down to a person unless it happens to go past the odds. If Mikey beats Spence or Fury beats Wilder, that would be the only way. Okay? And if he beats Wilder, no one would really care anyway, because then everybody will just forget about Wilder, because then Wilder, when he stepped up in class, he got outclassed. right? So then, then that would be the narrative. That's what everyone would say. So Eddie knows that. Eddie knows I have to make this deal before he fights him, because Deontay Wilder, on top of everything he's already been saying, when he beats him, he's going to come with another deal like, no, look, I beat the lineal champ. I want more money, Eddie. Pay me. Give me the money. You know what I mean? And Eddie knows that. So this is a business call. This all that is. That's what it adds up to, and if it's a dynamic fight, for Deontay Wilder, what's going to happen if they haven't fought yet? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I could say, you could look at this two different ways. You could look at it like this. Deontay Wilder, let's pretend he is the A side, okay? If he's the A side and he's been taking risk, he's got in there with Ortiz. He had the negotiations with Joshua. He turned it down because he is the A side, right? Well, Anthony Joshua booked 2 dates back to back. That's a lot of pressure. He said, even AJ said it himself, it's a lot of pressure because I have more people that depend on me. All the UK depends on me now, and his fans. So it's not just him. So it's a lot of pressure getting in there and performing and winning. You know what I mean? And, just like Canelo has that same type of pressure when he goes in there. A lot of people have a lot of things. A lot of people demand, like Manny Pacquiao. He had all of the Philippines and a lot of other people in the world depending on him, especially when he fought guys like Mayweather. There's a lot of pressure on these fighters. So saying all that to say this with Deontay has to learn if he wants to be A side, or if he wants to be A side one day, he should take risk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, to me, you pick the first year to start taking risk. Now, I know he wanted to fight Povetkin back in the day, and it fell through, and it's unfortunate. And that's not his fault. I'm not saying that. Because at least he did try to make a fight with a golden Olympian with only one loss to Vladimir Klitschko, which AP has done, right? But this year has been the first year that you've actually had your coming out party. Okay, let's face it. You haven't been in the spotlight long enough to demand that type. You know what I'm saying? I think Wilder, if it goes back to being humble, you know what I mean? If he goes over there and he knocks out Joshua, because honestly, that's the only way that's going to have to be in his favor. He goes in there and does what he did with every other opponent he's ever faced. He has to he has to take the fight, first of all. He has to go over there, submit to the chain, because if he knocks him out, he has to fight him again because it's going to be in the contract, right? So he has to knock him out. He takes that $15 million or whatever it is, and that's more than likely what it is because it's the same contract, right? So he has to take the contract. He has to knock out Anthony Joshua. Then Anthony Joshua gets a rematch clause. Then that's going to be in the States. And then maybe at that point, maybe he will be the A side. You know what I mean? That's if he legitimately, realistically wants to be the A side. Not just talking about it, being about it. That's if he wants that. But if he doesn't, if he's just talking like, hey, I'll be the A side after Fury, and then, and then what they're doing, the A side now, which is the AJ's camp, they are playing hardball. Like, look, take this fight, or we going to fight somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So the only people are going to suffer is really the fans, because there's guys lined up to fight AJ. Parker wants another rematch with AJ. Parker could fight Deontay if Deontay takes that fight. There's no one else really left to fight that hasn't fought. AJ could fight White again. I wouldn't personally want to see that again, but I mean, it would be a good fight for British fans. But world, I want to see someone from across the pond, someone from 2 different places. I want to see the thug and the businessman get it on. That's what I want to see, me personally. But there's many people that want to fight AJ. It's not just Deontay, but Deontay is the leading guy. So I think the leading guy needs to take his position, to start crawling, so then he could start walking. if he does what he's supposed to do in the ring, if the fight ever happens. So that's what it comes down to. Eddie Hearns does not want to pay Deontay Wilder more money. Plain and simple. That sums it up. He does not want to pay him more money because he knows if he waits after that, Deontay Wilder is going to, hey, I want more money. Give me $25 million. If you're going to give me a flat rate, I think I deserve that much for beating Ortiz, then knocking out Fury. I think I deserve that. You know what I mean? And now the argument will be, oh, and it might blow up in his face. It might be a lose-lose situation for Wilder because Wilder, if he goes in there and knocks out Fury, right? People are going to say this. This is what they're going to say, mind you. You knocked out a cokehead that was sitting on his ass for 2.5 years. Almost 3. And you want credit for that. I see it. You know what I mean? And then really what it is, he needs to lock in the date for the fight that he really wanted. He did not really want Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a substitute. He's a substitute. That's all Tyson Fury is. He's a guy that came out of nowhere and said, hey, I'll fight you, you bum, you shit house. I'll fight you. You know? That's what happened. That's why this fight is happening. It ain't Deontay called out Fury. Fury called out Deontay, and Deontay accepted. That's what happened. That's why this fight is happening, right? So, that's my take on that. You guys tell me what you think about the comments of Eddie Hearns, about the whole debacle. Of course, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.